Hi, and thank you for stopping by. I'm Sandy of Lolly and Sand, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ontario, Canada. Everything you see, by the way, tonight is available in my online store. Links are above, below. Anyway, we're going to be using the True Beauty bundle. Also comes in a suite where you get the dies, the stamp set, the DSP, and some pearls. I didn't want the pearls. If you want the pearls, go with ordering one number. Anyway, check out this stamp set. Just because here for you always with love, and you are a true friend. Not only that, these beautiful images that stamp in this really awesome watercolor look. It's phenomenal. And you like my backdrop here? Wow, this is the paper. And it's gorgeous. All right, so you get all these dies with the bundle. And I'm using this tonight, so a lattice work of sorts. And I'm using some of these dies tonight as well. So just to explain, this is the die that will cut out the leaves and the stem. You've got your flowers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You have this piece that die cuts that. You have the leaves and this little piece. Actually, you get 2 of these, which is cool. Then you get extra pieces, which are this one and this one. And you'll see this one tonight. I don't think I have the other piece die cut. This one. So nothing to show you at the moment. All that in a bundle. That is phenomenal. Alrighty. These are red rubber, so I'm not going to need any cushy pad under this tonight. Okay, the DSP. It isn't as bright and gorgeous as it looks on your screen. So there's one. So pretty. Can you picture a card? Actually, I can picture a card with this too, and then very simple. And I will show you a very simple card at the end. These little, now I am not that kind of fussy cutter, but if you wanted to, you could cut out the whole 9 yards here. And that would be really beautiful. I will show you the other side of the paper too. It's lovely as well. This is really cute. Very dainty and pretty. Now, if you thought, I don't feel like stamping today, I'm going to die cut. Die cut, die cut, die cut, die cut, die cut, die cut, die cut. You've got everything here that you need to make a card. Very simply. Now this is beautiful for scrapbookers. Don't freak out. And also card makers, because what I did, and you'll see it on my second card, is I simply cut across the top here. And I don't recall having to cut anything off the bottom to make it fit. You'll see why this middle strip, it is white, yes, but it does not go to waste. So the way I see it, if you were to use like a full panel, I believe you could get 6 cards out of this sheet of paper. But wait, let's turn everything over. So this lovely pattern, I almost used it in my card and then I got frustrated and stopped, but check it out. So I'm rolling the paper back so you can see how beautifully it coordinates. And that's one of the really awesome things about Stampin' Up! Products, is that they coordinate. They make it easy for you. Now, I absolutely love this. Love, love, love. Card front, sentiment, a couple flourishes, you are done. Beautiful. This one, it looks, and it most likely is, knowing Stampin' Up!, that this would be a canvas that well, this isn't obvious, this is paper, but what started out was a canvas, and they basically washed the color over it. So you can see lots of texture in here. Very, very pretty. Another pretty one. And you know what I like about this? Is that it's not solid. You know, like it's light and dark in areas. I really like that. That is like my cup of tea. And look at this. How beautiful that would look together. The 2 patterns. Now this is like the green one I just showed you, but it's in the pinks. Which pinks? I think they use polished pink, and this doesn't look very polished pink to me, so I'm not sure. Oh, but I could find out. Hang on a second. See if I can read from the back here. Okay. Oh, I really need my other glasses. Okay. Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, Merry Merlot, Mossy Meadow, Polished Pink, and So Saffron. Equals gorgeous. All right. Now this is the back of that sheet I showed you. This is why I say the center part does not go to waste. Use that on a card. There's no waste here. And it is so beautiful and vibrant and clean looking. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we are going to get started now. We are. Alrighty. So let's bring in everything that I've got ready to go. And I'm hoping I don't go down too low or end up too high. So this is Polished Pink, Granny Apple Green. I decided on Flirty Flamingo. This particular card does not have DSP on it. And I also used Highland Heather. So in that case, I can use any color. Now, I'm going to see if I can just get one, at least get the one color in. So you can see what I'm doing. All right, so this is the Polished Pink and one of the flowers. Now the cool thing about this, hopefully I'm not bouncing that too much, is I'm going to stamp it, but I'm going to stamp off. Now you notice when I stamp off, I'm actually holding it down longer. That is a soft, beautiful flower. I could do that full strength, but if I wanted more full strength, I'll show you. I would have gone more. And I'm going to squish these together so I have lots of room for everything else. It's a little less grainy than this. So they have this really unique texture on them that is so hard to describe. So hard to describe. It's just really pretty. I like pretty. I'm going to leave the leaves till last and go to Flirty Flamingo and a different stamp. Now, if I happen to get a halo, and you can see, I think you can see how there's ink around the edge. I pressed in pretty heavy. This is an older style. It is still foam, but it's an older style of stamp pad, so I kind of went a little heavy. There's one. Holding it down. There's two. Now, you might be thinking, well, actually, I'll tell you, I would be using the light ones, but these are not wasted. They will be used on another card. All right, so let's close up the Flirty Flamingo and move on to Highland Heather. Open. Open. Oh, you know what? I didn't close it all the way, so opening, which is usually a whole lot easier. So it's like a compact, but apparently a difficult one in this case. You open it and push, for those who haven't seen this type. Alrighty, ink her up. I see the different, how they ink, you know the way the stamp is made, that it's going to be a lot darker on the bottom than the top. And that is part of the design. So I'm going to turn it this way, because like I said, I want lots of room. Oh, I think I went too close to the edge maybe. And let's find out. I did not. Very subtle. So you see how these subtle colors all go together beautifully on a card, and this is a more bold card right here. So normally what I would do is I would have a piece of scrap paper and be stamping off, but I know I want to keep these other flowers, so I'm not using the scrap paper at all. It turns out I have lots of room. So these are the leaves, and I wouldn't normally use a block quite this big, but the other ones are all in use. So this is Granny Apple Green. There's first and there's second. So I want the second. First and second. So this is called first generation, second. First generation, second generation. All right. So to speed things up and keep things moving along, I have die cut all these pieces. Well, or I could say this is the magic of, and I'll get those pieces. I have my computer up at the top in the background because I don't need it. So you can see I've cut out lots of little pieces. There we go. and this already. And you think, what on earth happened there? I had a scrap of soft seafoam and I didn't want to waste it, so I thought, I think I can use it for this card. So I don't actually want these straight edges. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors and just cut randomly. You notice like there's not a real design going on here. This is another solid piece that I don't want on the card. Over. We'll see how this looks with everything on, and then decide which way I want to use it. It's kind of a cool little piece. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay nice and tidy. My craft room, my studio here, is in the midst of a renovation, so all over that way, there's no furniture, and it's all crammed in around me to try and, you know, make space. So anyway, what I like to do is have the card ready and kind of designed before I stick things down. Now I could change things, and this isn't my best die cutting, by the way. When you're die cutting, just take your time. Take your time. Your video can wait. So yeah, I think I'll do it like that. Or do I want that end? Let's find out. Do I want that end? I don't think it's really going to make a whole lot of difference. I feel like this flower, does it go this way or this way? I don't know. My eyes want to see it this direction, so we're going to go that way. I'm going to make a grouping and then put in, see how the leaves are another beauty of die cutting. See how they look kind of dotted? I hope that didn't go too out of focus, but I really like that. So I wasn't concerned about this, and normally like, if they were going to be showing, I would have actually used my scissors and cut around, but they'll kind of be under here. So, okay, set that aside. I pretty well know what I'm doing. It's going to look a lot like the original. Alrighty. Oh, I covered up my, uh-oh, I thought I got ink on my base. Okay, so here's my card base. 4 1/4 by 11, scored in half, which is at 5 1/2. I have the bone folder here, and just make that a little bit flatter. Now this, I think you can see, I just want to make sure it's, I think it goes this way. This is the time-worn type 3D embossing folder, and if I move it different ways, hopefully you can see that. It's got this lovely subtle pattern, and because my flowers are very subtle, I wanted to go with subtle. I didn't want anything too outrageous behind it. Now I did cut this smaller than usual. All right, I just noticed this is crooked a little bit, and it's going to bother me. So I will fix it. Okay, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So it's an 1/8 of an inch smaller than what I would normally do if I was just doing straight layers. My glue is old, it's yellowed, but it's still good. All right, so this is the bottom of the card here, and I'm just going to hold this about here, and drop it, and then just double check all the edges. They look really good. Now, I can't do this by holding it or leaving it flat on the table. I have to pick it up. There we go. Ah, I was going to say, I thought I had my Stampin' Seal out, but it's right here. All right. Now you're wondering, how am I going to attach this? I am not gluing this. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal, because I know the flowers are going to take up about this much space. I can Stampin' Seal, once I get it going, all in here, and it will catch various parts. Not only that, the leaves will help to hold this down and such. I'm going to put that on an angle. Anything over the edge I will trim later. Okay, so it's good and sticky in here, which doesn't hurt things at all. All right, so I'm going to start with the Highland Heather. Put a little bit of glue on the back and go about here. Alrighty, and this one. this is the Calypso Coral here, and then this guy I'm going to pop up. You know what I'm doing is, where are my dimensionals? So as my sheet gets smaller and smaller, I cut it down. Just because. All right, let's just use enough to hold everything up. Any place where I'm going to tuck in the leaves, if I find there's an issue, I'll just cut the leaf a little bit if it's in the way. So these are the mini dimensionals. Not using the full size because I don't actually need those tonight. Alrighty, I'm gonna go like that. I'm just setting it on really, really lightly because I want to take a look at the flowers or the leaves. Okay, that can go there. And I also wanted to make sure I didn't forget about these. So this was also from the set. And I just used our regular vellum and our basic white. So before I put the leaves down, I'm going to tuck in one of these, and I'm going to use a glue dot. Finding the end as it gets down to the bottom of the end of the roll. Alrighty. So anyone who watched my previous video and is wondering how my hand is doing after the dog bite, it's healing quite well. I just can't get my ring on yet. You can still see it's green. That's the scabs are coming off. I'm sorry. Why did I point that out? That's really ugly. Anyway, just in case, and for those who haven't seen the mess before, this looks a lot better. A lot. So there's some leaves there. I also want to take some leaves and put them down here, which means I probably, yep, I'm going to lift up this corner and hang on there. I knew I was a little, there we go. So I'm going to be putting this under here. I just, see this open spot right here? I just want that covered. I don't want that showing. All right, I know where it's going, so there we go. Now when I made my sample card, I actually put all the leaves on and then thought about these pieces. So they're kind of placed. All right, under you go. Just cover up that little spot. So this is a really delicate card. This is the kind of card, if she was alive, this is the kind of card my grandmother would love. And for this, I think I'm just going to use one because it's like that, and that. That gets to be a lot. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use the other leaf. I'm just not using it on this card. And I do have a little container with all my little extra doodads that didn't get used on the original cards. All right, let me just see. This is easier just to turn the card, isn't it? Just going to pull that out as far as I can before you see the end of it. Alrighty. Now, Granny Apple Green and Soft Seafoam, I wouldn't normally say, oh, I'm purposely going to put those together, but I like them. Greens, like in your garden, you have so many different colors of green that I don't really think it's going to make a difference. There. Do I want those there? There. I feel like I want them like the original, but maybe on a different angle. I don't know yet. All right, let's get those two together first. So I'm just going to go right there and somewhat put them together. Not at the same height. So it looks a bit like a dog's breakfast. And yeah, you would be right. But once everything's hidden, we're good little hiders of things that we don't want people to see. We're just going to lift up that leaf that is pretty well solidly on there now. Let me just think. Maybe I can do it a different way. You know what? I think I like that. I do like that. Okay. Decision made. So I am getting another one of these. And from the back, underneath, I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I love my Take Your Pick tool because I can get in and under. That is really pretty. And it reaches in far enough so I can, because you don't want to see the glue dots, you don't want to see the dimensionals, and such. Now, the sentiment is already heat embossed. I'm thinking, what is the word? Heat embossed, and I fussy cut around it. It was really simple. Started up here, straight line, and then around, just a couple little wigglies, and ta-da. And I think I'm going to have this one go, I didn't like that space right there, so I'm going to put it right about here. So I know I'm going to put dimensionals on, and I'll just put them on the because, and I'm going to have to cut them down. Yep, I am. So I take the big dimensionals and I cut them, but I also take the minis and cut them. So I can put one there. Actually, I think I will use 3 because it is pretty narrow. This would be easier. This would be so much easier if I was using my take your pick tool, get my fingers out of the way. Stay. Alrighty. And then just pull those up. I am going to use my fingernails because I find with the small ones, I tend to pull up the entire dimensional, and that kind of defeats the purpose of having the dimensional. And number 3. Now, before I completely decide, because I might go right here, I like that too. I think I'll go here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue over here. Just I'm using Tombow. Seal would be too big. You could use a glue dot as well. That would be just as easy. All right, and we would like to get that straight the first time. That would be lovely. So I did this in black embossing powder, heat embossed, and I used the soft seafoam again to bring in the soft seafoam a bit more. Stay. Almost done. Let's get the lid on our glue, get our accessories. Nope, I need you out of the way. And did you notice I didn't use any ribbon for this card? It is true. I didn't. All right, everybody back. I didn't because I tried and I just went, yeah, you know what? It's not happening for me. So this is here, so we'll go here. I feel like I want to cut those. I really do. I know it seems horrible, like a horrible thing to do, but I feel like I want to give them a wee trim. Yeah, it was just, I felt like it was a little crowded. Alrighty. Okay, so we've got one there. So I love when I get to the end of a package of dimensionals or embellishments or ribbon. Just means that it was a good purchase and I've used lots. Put that one there, and maybe, yeah, that can go there. And then we're going to go back to the big guys again. Put one up here. Just see where that one will go. Up a little higher. The other thing I did, and I will bring in my scrap paper for this. This is not a big enough piece of scrap paper, let me tell you. Let me get my really, really ugly piece of paper out. It does a better job of protecting my desk. The last thing you want to do with this card is bring out your Wink of Stella. Okay, I'm even going to put my scissors away so I don't get anything on them. Now, this is a new one, and the way I can tell is it's got a clear lid. The older Wink of Stellas, if you see me using those, do not have a clear lid. So I'm not going to squeeze where it says push. I'm not doing that. I don't want a blob. So as much as, again, and I say this every time, as much as you can't see the sparkle, this card will be covered. Because on the first card, I thought, no, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. And when I went to take pictures, I went, wow. One thing with Wink of Stella is you want to give it time to dry, so you don't want to put anything on top of the card while it's drying. All right, let's get all that. And I have Wink of Stella on my hands. Oh, surprise. Alrighty. Let's get that out of the way. And we'll bring in the original. So they are not identical. It does really, really shimmer though. I probably spent a lot longer putting this on, and I was trying to use up my old ones too. Old Wink of Stella's. So yes, slight difference. This is much smaller, so I may still trim this back a bit, especially under there. Not sure yet. All right, I wanted to show you the other card I made. I was going to say it doesn't have any die cuts on it, but at the last second I decided to die cut a little corner. So I'll show you what that is. So this is strictly DSP. So this is Mary Merlot, Balmy Blue. This is that piece I showed you where you've got the top and the bottom and the white in the center. That's what it looks like when you cut out. Is that not gorgeous? Then what I did is, this is from the stamp set, from the it's called True Beauty, yes, True Beauty stamp set. I stamped it in Mary Merlot to kind of tie them together, to say I did use it. There it is, and there it is, and simple fussy cut around that. And this is where I decided to take one of the stylish shapes, and I took it, and we'll have to pretend, because, oh wait, are they handy? Well, I can use one of my layering circles and show you the same. Oh no, there they are. Dang it. Super simple. I used the bigger one. And it was all dependent on, normally my sentiments would be on this side, but we do read from left to right. So all I did was this was squared, and just did that, die cut it. And it's got this beautiful stitching on it. And it just kind of set it off. There was nothing else I wanted to put behind the sentiment, and by itself, it really, to me, didn't seem like enough. I took a little bit of our Simply Elegant trim, and it's about that long, folded in half, glued it down, and then just had the ends kind of sticking out. And you can manipulate those to whatever way you want them to go. Added a few of the basic rhinestones like I did on these cards, and that was it. Like, how simple is that card? And I think it's lovely. I would be overjoyed to get a card like that, or any of these. So there you have it, my friends. All the important links will be in the body, in the comments here. And I do hope you pop over to my blog and just take a boo. If you're on Instagram, I'm over there as well. I think the only one I don't use is Twitter. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to see you next Tuesday for another live, well, it's not really live, you're watching a recording, for another video. Okay, bye bye.